Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Cubs Sports Report, part of the GM Sports Report podcast. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to be able to see all of our videos. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and dive right into it because this is going to be a more exciting episode because the Chicago Cubs have clinched a playoff spot for the first time since 2020. This has been a long time coming, especially the last couple seasons. It really felt like we could have had a chance to get there, but just didn't quite have enough juice. Obviously, we know the infamous Seiya Suzuki drop ball in the 2023 season, and then last year being kind of a very upsetting season after that long stretch of bad games. So to have this happen, it feels really good, and we finally made it over the hump, and that's due to a few things. Obviously, the breakout with PCA that happened early in the season, trading for Kyle Tucker in the offseason was a huge turnaround for this franchise. And, even these little things in the second half, like Matt Shaw, breaking out and having a great second half, Cade Horton being one of the best pitchers in baseball for the second half of the season, finding diamond in the rough type players for this bullpen like Brad Keller, Drew Pomeranz, a lot of success has happened this season. And I know it's been a very up and down season. And at times it's even felt like this Cubs team hasn't really performed at their top level, but making the playoffs in baseball is harder than any other sport. So to make the playoffs, especially for the first time in 5 years, it feels good and it's something to be happy about and celebrate. So very excited to see the Cubs finally clinch. Well, not finally. We knew it was only a matter of time, but for this season. But it's good to see them clinch. I'm super excited to see what these guys do in the playoffs, and you can tell they're very excited about it. Those videos of them celebrating were very fun to see, and yeah, it's only like 10 games left, and then we're gonna be playing October baseball. So looking forward to that. And what I wanted to kind of do was just do what I normally do, which is a series review against the Pirates, and then a quick look ahead at this 4-game series we have against the Reds coming up here, starting today, actually. So the Cubs swept the Pirates, which is great. This is now 3 series wins in a row, and now we're having a sweep too. And with Clinch, and I feel like the momentum is at an all-time high right now, at least since we had that great first half of the season. I feel like this is the highest the team's been. So it feels good right now. The vibes are up, and I'm excited to see what they do in this Red Series. But they do sweep the Pirates. Game 1 was a nice win, 4-0. We had a Bush home run, who Bush, by the way, had a fantastic series, and he's really starting to look like he's heating up. PCA had a homer and double, which is huge to see. PCA's first home run in over a month, so that was nice to see. And then Dansby Swanson had a nice RBI double, who had a very solid series, and is looking really good here. He's putting together quite a season. Say what you want about Dansby, about his offense, but he has had a good offensive season outside of when Craig Counsell was putting him in the bad spot of the wrong spot of the order and putting him in a position to fail with runners in scoring positions and stuff like that. But other than that, he's had a really good season, in my opinion. Jameson Taillon threw 6 innings that game for 2 hits and no earned runs, so a very good start out of him. And then we saw Mike Soroka come out of the bullpen for the first time as a Cub, and he went 2 innings and gave up no runs, and his velocity was back up to 96, 97, so that was really good to see. And I'm actually very interested to see Soroka in this bullpen role because that's kind of where I wanted him to be, because if you look at his career stats, when he comes out of the bullpen, he has a ton of success, way more success than when he is a starter. So this can really be a weapon for us in the playoffs. I'm very excited to see what he does for us out of the bullpen. He's a guy that can give you 2 to 4 innings of really good work. So I'm excited to see that. That's pretty much all the noteworthy stuff from game 1. So a 4-0 win there. Nice little win. And then game 2 was the one that was really impressive for me, going against Paul Skeens. Cubs win 4-1, and they get Paul Skeens out in 3.2 innings, which I believe was the shortest start he has had this season, and putting up 2 runs on him in the first inning, which he hasn't done, I don't think, ever in his career, I thought I saw. So that was pretty good to see. And like I said, Michael Bush, who had a great series, had a leadoff home run off him. So that was a really good thing to do by Michael Bush. And then Nico Horner had a 3-hit game, who is now really closing in on this batting title. He's at a 303 average now. The leader is Trey Turner with a 305. So it's going to be really interested to see down the stretch if Nico Horner can get that batting title, because, man, he deserves it. He's had such a great year. So, yeah, keep an eye out on that race down the stretch. It'll be interesting. Cade Horton had another great start. 5 innings, only 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts. So really good stuff from him. And the bullpen threw 4 shutout innings. The bullpen has really been picking it up here, and I'm really happy about that. I hope that we don't hit a rocky road with them anytime soon, and they can continue this consistent dominance that they've had for really most of the season now. So we win that game 4-1, which is really a huge win in my eyes. Beating Paul Skeens is hard to do. So them doing that is a great sign. And that's when I really felt confident and was like, okay, we're going to go sweep this series, because now we know we're 1 game away from clinching. So they're going to come out hot. And that was just what happened in game 3. We started out the game extremely hot, 4-run first inning, thanks to Ian Happ and Moises Ballesteros back-to-back home runs in the first, and putting up 4 runs. But here's where things did get a little shaky. Matthew Boyd, who has really had a rough go of things for like his last 5 or so starts, struggled in the first inning, giving up 4 runs. And he honestly got lucky. There were some times in this game he could have given up way more runs, and he didn't. He just hasn't been looking like that dominant Matthew Boyd we saw in the first half of the season. I don't know if that's due to him never throwing this many innings before in his career and he kind of hit a wall. I don't know if, batters are starting to get a good read on him. It could be a mix of both, but one thing is for certain, and that is Matthew Boyd is starting to concern me a little bit, and he's going to have to figure it out here down the stretch before we get into this playoff series, wild card series. So I'm a little worried about Matthew Boyd, but we got the win today, 8-4 win, thanks to Ian Happ getting that RBI single, Justin Turner having 2 RBI singles. The offense exploded, but then once again, story of the last few series, the bullpen shuts it down. We saw Hodge go for 1 shutout inning, Savali going 3 shutout innings, Pomeranz going a shutout inning, and Taylor Rogers going a shutout inning. So 6 shutout innings from the bullpen to help the Cubs clinch and sweep the series. So this bullpen has been the unsung hero of this season, and they really helped us win that game yesterday and ultimately clinch a playoff spot. So shout out to the bullpen. And yeah, great series, great sweep against the Pirates. I know the Pirates aren't the best team in the world, but this Cubs team has not been able to sweep anyone. So seeing them sweep was a nice thing to see. And like I said, the momentum feels different now. Like it feels like they're really starting to get things rolling, which is huge to have right before the playoffs. If they can get hot at the right time, we might be having a deep playoff run, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. All right, now what I want to do is go into a quick series review against the Reds. Nothing crazy. The Reds are 76-76 and 5-5 in their last 10 games. So the definition of mid, they're 500 throughout the board there. And there are 2 games back from the wild cards, the last wild card spots. So they're going to come out trying to beat us. They're fighting for a playoff spot just like we were a day ago. So we got to be ready for that. Starting off this series, we have Hunter Green versus Colin Ray. Hunter Green is a fantastic pitcher. It's going to be a challenge going against him. So, Cubs are going to have to be ready for him. Then we have Nick Lodolo versus Shota Imanaga on game 2, which should be a good matchup. 2 really talented pitchers. So we'll see what happens there. Then we have Zach Littell versus Javier Assad. And I don't know if you guys remember, but Zach Littell carved this up last time we faced him. So, going to have to do better against him next time we face him. And then we have Andrew Abbott versus Jameson Tyone. They're all stars. So we really are facing their best pitchers. So we got to be ready. And like I said, with them only being 2 games out from a wild card spot, they're going to be coming in hot. So really going to have to battle it out this series. And I think my ego wants to go 3-1 Cubs this series, but I think a more realistic goal would be to split the series 2-2 and go from there. So we'll see what happens with that. And I'm looking forward to see it. But really, the main point of this podcast is just to celebrate the Cubs making the playoffs. Let me know down below what you guys think. How excited are you guys? Who do you think we're going to play? How do you think we're going to do in the playoffs? All those sorts of things. Let me know down below. And that's pretty much going to wrap up this episode. So thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Cubs Sports Report. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to be able to see all of our videos. And yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up this episode. So thank you guys. Go Cubs, go.